Let us first of all learn how to classify the system using pole zero plot. How to define a system is stable if the poles lie inside the unit circle. And how to define the unstable system if any one of its poles lie outside the unit circle. So this is unit circle concept is in terms of for discrete time sequences, and if it is continuous time signal, if the poles lie in the left half of the S-plane, then the system is stable. Then for system is causal, if the ROC of the system function, it is outside the circle of radius r, that means mod z is greater than r. And for non-causal system, the ROC, it lies inside the circle of radius r. Now let us learn the causality term. What do you mean by causal? System is causal in terms of Z transform. So the condition for linear time invariant system to be causal in terms of impulse response. The condition is h of n, that is the impulse response is 0 for n less than 0. That means when for the negative values of n, negative axis of the sample numbers n, h of n should be 0. Then the system is causal. When the sequence is causal, its ROC is the exterior of the circle of radius r. So LTI system is causal if and only if the ROC of the system function is exterior of a circle of radius r. Now let us learn the stability in terms of Z transform. So the condition for LTI system to be stable, it is given as the summation n varying from minus infinity to plus infinity mod h of n. It should be a finite quantity. That means it should be less than infinity. The system function is given as h of z, that is the Z transform of h of n, that is equal to summation n varying from minus infinity to plus infinity h of n z raised to minus n. So this is nothing but a Z transform equation for this impulse response h of n. Now let us take the magnitudes of both the sides. That means let us take the mod of both the sides of the equation. So we have taken the mod of h of z of that is of LHS and mod of RHS also. Now magnitude of overall sum, it is less than the sum of magnitudes of individual terms. So that is why mod of h of z is less than summation, that is sum of magnitudes of individual terms. So magnitudes of these individual terms, we have taken the mod of h of n multiplied by mod of z raised to minus n. Now we are going to evaluate h of z on unit circle. So mod z raised to minus n, that is mod z is equal to 1. So this equation will be mod z raised to minus n will be 1. So the equation will be mod h of z is less than summation n varying from minus infinity to plus infinity mod h of n. Now if the system is bounded input, bounded output, stable, then summation mod h of n is less than infinity. That means it is a finite quantity. So this condition implies that mod h of z is less than summation n varying from minus infinity to plus infinity mod h of n. It should be less than infinity and it is evaluated on the unit circle. So we have clubbed both these conditions. This condition requires that the unit circle should be present in the ROC of h of z. So LTI system is stable if and only if the ROC of the system function, it includes the unit circle. Now we want the LTI system to be causal as well as stable. So let us learn how to define a causal as well as a stable system. Now we know that the LTI system is causal if and only if the ROC of the system function is exterior of the circle of radius r. That means mod z greater than r. And LTI system is stable if the ROC of the system function includes the unit circle. That means r is less than 1. So the condition of equation 1 and equation 2 we can combine so that we will get the condition for the system to be both, that is causal as well as stable. So a causal and stable system must have a system function that converges for mod z greater than r less than 1. So we have clubbed the equation 1 and 2 in this equation. Now we know that the property of ROC, that is region of convergence, that ROC of h of z does not contain any poles. And for causal and stable system, we know that the ROC is mod z greater than r less than 1, that is ROC includes unit circle. Therefore, a causal and stable system, all poles of h of z are inside the unit circle. So if the poles are inside the unit circle, then the system is both causal as well as stable. Now let us solve one example. The system function of the LTI system is given, and specify the ROC of h of z and find out the unit sample response h of n for the following conditions. So the first condition is if the system is stable. Second condition if the system is causal, and third condition is if the system is anti-causal. The first step is let us convert h of z to the positive powers of z. So I am multiplying numerator and denominator with z square. So I will get this equation. Now this z in the numerator I am taking to the LHS, so I will get h of z upon z, that is equal to 3z minus 4 upon z square minus 3.5z plus 1.4. Now as we know that the denominator is a quadratic equation, so we can find out the roots of this quadratic equation using this formula. Now in that quadratic equation, b is minus 3.5, c is 1.5 and a is 1. So I will get the roots of this quadratic equation, that is roots of the denominator as 3 and 0.5. So let us rewrite the equation again. H of z upon z, that is equal to 3z minus 4 upon z minus 3 into z minus 0.5. As we have found out the roots, we can write down directly the factors. Now let us find out the partial fractions of this equation. So I'm writing the simultaneous equations. The numerator, as the denominator of LHS and RHS are same, I'm equating the numerator. So 3z minus 4, that is equal to a into z minus 0.5 plus b into z minus 3. Now let us expand this equation. So 3z minus 4 is equal to, I am combining the coefficients of z, so a plus b into z, and I am combining the constant, that is minus 0.5a minus 3 into b. So now let us equate the coefficients of LHS and RHS. So I am equating the coefficients of z, that is 3 is equal to a plus b, and minus 0.5a minus 3b, that is equal to minus 4. Now if we solve these two simultaneous equations, we will get a is equal to 2 and b is equal to 1. Now let us substitute these constants, that is partial fraction coefficients, in this equation. So once again I have rewritten the expression h of z upon z for your reference, and these are the partial fraction coefficients which we have found out, a and b. A was 2 and b was 1. So I have substituted. Now we know that the poles are nothing but, if I equate the denominator, z minus 3 is equal to 0, I will get z is equal to 3. So the first pole is at 3 and the second pole is at, if I equate the second factor equal to 0, I will get the second pole at 0.5. Now the Z on LHS, I will be cross multiplying and taking on the RHS. So I will get H of Z is equal to 2Z upon Z minus 3 plus Z upon Z minus 0.5. Now I am converting it into the negative power of Z, this polynomial. So 2 upon 1 minus 3 into Z raised to minus 1 plus 1 upon 1 minus 0.5 Z raised to minus 1. Now to determine ROC and H of n for the stable system, because we want to find out the H of n, and we are given the three conditions. First was if the system is stable, so we have to find out the inverse Z transform of H of Z. Now the system is stable if the ROC of H of Z, it includes the unit circle. Therefore the ROC must be between 0.5 to 3. That means we have found out the poles 0.5 and 3. So the ROC, that is mod Z, it must be between 0.5 less than mod Z less than 3, which includes mod Z is equal to 1, that is unit circle. But ROC 0.5 less than mod Z less than 3, it does not include the poles at P is equal to 3 and P2 is equal to 0.5. Since ROC is the ring, the unit sample response H of n will be both sided. Now what is the first condition? 0.5 less than Z. That means mod Z greater than 0.5. So the corresponding term will be a causal signal. So while taking inverse Z transform of 1 upon 1 minus 0.5 Z raised to minus 1, we will be considering it as a causal signal. So 0.5 raised to n u of n for ROC mod Z greater than 0.5. And for the second term, the ROC is mod Z less than 3. So the corresponding term will be anti-causal signal. So inverse Z transform of 1 upon 1 minus 3 into Z raised to minus 3. If it is anti-causal signal, it will be minus 3 raised to n u of minus n minus 1, and ROC is mod Z less than 3. So now let us combine these two terms and let us rewrite the expression, the final answer. So H of n is inverse Z transform of H of Z. So that is equal to minus 2 into 3 raised to n u of minus n minus 1 plus 0.5 raised to n u of n. The second condition was if the system is causal. Now we know that for causal system, the ROC is exterior of the circle. ROC will be mod Z greater than 3 because it is the exterior of the circle, and as ROC should not contain any pole, because the second pole was 0.5. So that is why ROC should be mod Z greater than 3. And the corresponding terms will be a causal signal. So H of n will be inverse Z transform of both the expressions. So it is 2, which is a constant, into 3 raised to n u of n plus 0.5 raised to n u of n. We know that ROC is mod Z greater than 3. It does not include the unit circle. Hence the system is unstable, because for system to be stable, it should include the ROC should include the unit circle. Now the third condition was given if the system is anti-causal. For anti-causal system, the ROC is the interior of the circle. That means ROC will be mod Z less than 0.5. So the corresponding terms will be anti-causal signal. So let us write the expression for H of n. We are going to take the inverse Z transform of the first term plus inverse Z transform of the second term for anti-causal signal. So it will be minus 2 into 3 raised to n u of minus n minus 1 minus 0.5 raised to n u of minus n minus 1. Now as we know that ROC is mod Z less than 0.5. Does it include unit circle? No, it does not include the unit circle. Therefore again the system is unstable.